Hi. So today I'm trying the hand dolly for a second time. I've given her a go with tips. I feel like they have gone on pretty all right, apart from this one that just, I don't know if I'm using the wrong size tip in there, but it just looks wonky, but I'm hoping to correct that when I can file it. I'm not quite sure designs what I'm doing, but I've chosen some nice summer colours, Glam and Glitz. These are their design colour pop acrylics in overheat, bright lights and cocktail. I've also grabbed some pink glitter and some flaky things in like a goldy iridescent-y thing. Available from the Nail Tech Network. Don't forget, if you're ordering off there, you can use my name as a code. These are just some stuff that I used to sell in when I had the big salon, and it's just some really pretty material that I'm going to encapsulate. I've got it in pink and yellow, as I'm planning to maybe try and overlap the colours. But well, I don't know. We'll see. That might look a bit putrid, but hey. Stops the boredom, doesn't it? So let me just move that out of the way. I think this nail I'm going to go in with a nice sort of maybe I need some different glitter. Yep, so decided to grab some different glitter as well. So I've got this Secrets, it's one of my favourites, NSI glitter. I think it's called Bliss. Yes, it is. Dead nice. NSI glitters are to die for. So there might be a few little stars in there from when I've dropped the pot, put the wrong lid thing in. Let me just zoom in a little bit. So I'm going to do, get some rose blush out. Using my NSI core system as always. I also hope, again, I'm not going to do voiceover, I'm just going to chat as I do it, pause it as I need to. Hoping there's no chaos in my kitchen. I'm in the cabin because Callum is shaving Brandon's head. There you go. Okay, so I'm going to get a nice bead. Hang on a second. Probably going to maybe want to pinch this as well. Shall I pinch it? Yeah, just go in and do it, Kate. Usually I'd put a clear base down, but I don't think Dottie will mind. Hang on. A little bit of fluff. Get out the way. And then I'm going to get a nice bead of my rose blush. Place it just before the cuticle area. Tilt the hand downwards. And then with the point of my brush, just tap it in to seal it around that cuticle area. When I'm happy that it's nice and sealed, I'm going to use like the painting technique. Just because I don't want this thick, I'm going to pop a load of glitter in there, but I do want it to be a nice coverage all over. Okay, so I'm not bothered whether it's a full coverage or not. It goes quite see-through at the free edge here, which doesn't fuss me. Quite like it. Brandon just popped in to chat, so I'm just going to make this a little bit wet on here, and then I'm going to add some of this pink glitter. Oh my lord, look at that. You just know, don't you, when something's going to make you happy. And I'm going to add some of my NSI glitter. I just want these to be super fun, super sparkly. Yeah, there's a few little stars in there, but it doesn't really matter. Actually, I quite like them. I might even dig one out and place it up here. Can you see the little star? Okay, stay there, please. Just gonna tether it off. Tether it. Got a little star in here. And then while it's still wet, I'm going to go straight in with my clear encapsulation bead because I want to pinch this nail. Mind you, probably could pinch it you probably gather by now that I don't really plan anything out. I'm kind of like a wing it kind of girl. Usually if this was on a client, I'd have done my base, gone in with my, pinched them, filed them, go in with my design, just winging it, just bored out my brains in lockdown. So just thought I'll just crack on and do some little videos, but haven't planned it. So if you think, oh my God, this girl does not know what she is doing, it's because I'm just thinking on the spot about things. Where is my pinching tool? Okay. On this one here, I think I'm going to put a smile line in and then use my netting on the middle finger. So let's have a little look now. Get a little pinch in. The tips are already got a nice pinch in anyway. These are the tapered square NTN tips. Really nice. They come in little bags, all in different sizes. I just pop them into an old box and I've got it labelled. They are, just checking, yeah, I'm using the tapered square. So they already go in nice for your tapered square coffin shaped nails. But I like to give, you know, a little bit of a pinch even though it's on my hand dolly. So this is ready for encapsulation. Before I do that, I'm going to crack on, do a smile line on here. Now, unless any of you want to see me do filing, I tend to press pause, file, and then press play again. Shit. I just broke it off. Where's my glue gone? No, I don't think anybody wants to see filing. Okay, tiny little bit of glue. I broke this off before I started recording as well. So I'm just going to glue it back in place. And the glue I'm using is NSI Polybond. It's a brush-on adhesive. Sets really well. It's the only glue I've ever used. Let's just get this stuck back on there. So I'm happy that's sat in there. Yeah, there we go. It's because I'm trying to push the tip back in. Okay, so I'm going to go straight into my rose blush and start creating a smile line. Depending on who my client is, depending on what sort of mood I'm in, sometimes I will do my reverse here, brush backwards. Sometimes I start from the cuticle. Today I'm going to start from the cuticle and then add an apex bead in as I go along. So a nice bead. I'm draining some liquid out of that bead just to keep the control and the consistency of the product, and also to make the product work to the best of its ability colour wise as well. It keeps it a nice strong opaque pink. Rose blush has to be one of my most favourite cover pinks ever to be made. I've used others and I just come back to it because in comparison you just can't get, it's my personal opinion, and I love it. So as you can see with the belly of my brush, I've pulled that bead up nice and smooth. Nice motions all the way over, and then before it starts setting I'm going to start tucking in here to create a nice smile line. Don't want it too pointy, just want it to come up in that triangle look and then round it off. I want it quite deep because I think I'm going to do a little bit of like marble in between the three colours on here. And I'm going to show you from the side as well, profile, just so you can see how deep that wall is on here. Can you see? But you can also see down here that we are flat and we have no apex. And it's also very see-through here as I've pulled the bead up, but we've got a nice consistent blend, and it means that you won't see no shadowing or any lines. So I'm going back into my rose blush. Again, I'm just taking a tiny little bit of liquid out of there for control. Popping it along my cuticle area, pressing it into place with the tip of my brush, and then when I'm happy I'm just going to pull it up the nail. And again I'm going to show you from the side what it is like. Tidy up along here. Got a little bit of naughty glitter in there, but come out when we're filing it. So you need to have this nice wall to be able to put your designs up to keep it nice and sharp. This is going to need a little bit of an apex putting in, so I'm going to go into my clear. Because I'm not going to encapsulate my smile line, I need to make sure the structure of the nail is there. Okay, and just blend that up. And now you can see, oh, I'm off screen, shit and sugar, sorry about that. Now you can see I've put the clear bead in and blended it upon itself, and now you can see that I'm going to have a nice apex coming out of there. I'm a bit worried about pushing that tip back in until it's done. So I'm going to leave this one to set now. When it's ready, I'm going to do some filing around the smile line to make it a little bit more crisper, and also apply the design colours. I don't know whether to do maybe, oh Jesus, why am I so heavy-handed? I still can't get used to like bending this dolly's fingers and stuff. Let me glue this back on while that is setting. I need some advice on how to bend this doll's finger, to be honest with you. I did have instructions, but I've had her for a while and I haven't, like I said in the previous video, I haven't used her. But I did take her and use it on a 1-to-1, but literally the tips got pulled out, you know. Oh, I don't care what that looks like. I'm going to put it on, I'm going to file it so it's nice and smooth. Like I wouldn't, you know, I'll just use a new tip on a client, but I'm not faffing around. You'll notice that about me. I'll just crack on, get it done. So, just applying this tip, just onto there. Whoop. Just give it a few seconds to set. Probably go back to my smile line now and leave this one to set. Can't believe I just pulled it off. Anyway, by the time I come to the index finger, I'll probably pull that one off too. Okay, just squeezy in there. I must say, using the tips is a lot easier than using the nail forms, but I am a sculptor, so it's something that I will, oops-a-daisy, force myself to get to grips with on her. So hopefully I'm in sharp. And what I'm doing is pressing against the smile line and not the tip. I do not want to file against that tip because I'll go through it or snap it off. So I'm just getting my file, and it is a 150 NSI endurance file, and I'm just creating nice crispness along here. Crispness along here. Okay. Okay, and then just around there and dust it, and I will show you from the side again. So it's nice and filed, nice crisp smile line. You could go over this bit, but I'll just file it all together, so it's not a major issue. So got my 3 colours out. So this is Overheat, and it does contain a nice little glistening. This is Bright Lights, and it's glitter free. And then I've got Cocktail, and I think this one's got a little bit of yumminess to it. Okay, and I'm obviously going to stick some glitter or something in there as well. Just get my phone in shot and get Dottie's hand in. Okay, so I'm going to just make sure I've got all dust removed from around here. And then I'm going to pick up, nothing's in the right place for me, a tiny bead of my pink, drain it, and I'm going to put it along this smile line here. And with the point of my brush, I'm going to just start working it into the little tail down there. Tail? What's wrong with me today? have no words. And before it sets, I'm going to tidy up my smile line. Even though I filed my smile line, if I go straight in and encapsulate without tidying up this area first, you're going to see that it's wonky and it's not pretty. So I've done that colour. Now I'm going to get a little bit of yellow, drain the bead, find a bit of kitchen towel without any glitter on, and place it along here. So I'm actually mixing the 3 beads along here. Again, just feed it down there. Doesn't need to be nice and tidy. Just as long as you go in before it's set with the point of your brush and clean it up. From the side angle, it just looks a lot prettier, a lot tidier work. And that's what it's about, isn't it? Okay, now I'm going to go into my orange. Small amount again. Draining the bead. Probably got a little bit too much here, but feed it into the point down here. And just knock some out along here. Then when I'm happy, I'm going to do this. And then just bring it up and blend it there. Okay, I feel like I'm hanging off the desk today. Okay, so now I'm going to go in with some pink. And I'm going to place the bead along here. Obviously going to have to tidy it up again, but I don't need to go as close this time. I'm going to get my orange and I'm going to place some yellow. Whilst it's still wet, I'm going to get the beads and I'm going to start mixing them together to create a nice marbled effect. I'm going to tidy up along here. And then I'm going to do the same in the centre. Probably going to use a little bit more pink. Pop it along here. Some orange. And again, my yellow. Oh, didn't pick any up. Along here. Point of my brush to work it straight in. And down. And bring it up. Just tidy this up so it's not pooling there, so you haven't got a large bead hanging off the edge. Come on, focus phone. Try and turn it round. Just pat it in just ever so slightly. It's still extremely wet. You have to work really, really wet. I'm going to get a little bit of my flakes that I showed you, and I'm just going to place them just around. Doesn't need to be anything major. You don't want to lose your whole effect of your marble design, but just give it that extra twinkle. Then that's ready for encapsulating, and I'm going to do some little gel daisy flowers on that one. So let me just clean my brush off. Clean piece of kitchen towel. Don't break the tip off, Kate. Ugh. Okay. This is me wonky tip anyway. I haven't actually filed it in since I snapped it off, but it's gonna be all right. It's only on Dotty, isn't it? Now I'm going to prepare myself first. I'm gonna zoom out. So I'm gonna get some of this material netting iridescent beautiful stuff, and I'm gonna cut it with some scissors that I don't actually have. Hang on. Okay. So I'm just going to cut along there and along there. So you can see by me placing it on that it is fairly see-through. I now want to do this in sections like that. And like that. Oh, I just stopped it. It's lucky it isn't a client, because should have been stabbed by now. making sure it's not a perfect fit. Overhanging's got to be there so I can seal it all in. Just get that little bit off there. I don't want this tatty crappy stuff here. So okay, and I want 3 little bits. So now this nail, I'm going to do this section here and just cover it in a bit of rose blush. It doesn't need to be completely opaque, but I've lost a piece already of netting. How is it even possible? I don't know. Is the 2 there? No. Let me just cut another little bit. Okay. And then I'm going to place a load of glitter underneath as well. We want this to be super sparkly. So, is my chair creaking? Okay, so a nice pickup rose blush, drain the bead. This has got to be super thin. Pop it on around the cuticle with the point, and I'm going to use a paint rather than the belly of my brush because I just want it nice and blended out. There we go. This tip just doesn't look like it's the right size for this hand dolly. And then whilst it's still wet, I'm going to go into my NSI Bliss glitter and start to cover this. Again, it's got a few of them little tiny little stars in, but I don't care. I think they look nice. Okay, I might go a little bit further, just get a little bit of the pink and just come in and just add it on that free edge. Okay, now what I'm going to do when this is set, I'm going to, because this is still super thin, I'm going to apply the smallest amount of clear acrylic over the top. I'm going to pinch this smallest amount of clear acrylic over the top, and then as it's wet, I'm then going to lay this stuff in. Got a little bag to squash it over. Okay, I'm happy that this is set enough. So again, going to go in my clear. I don't want a huge bead. I don't want to add any sort of thickness to this. So I'm literally just covering it just to put the netting in and making sure I've got a wet layer to apply it and stick it down in. Okay, so now we've got all this on, I'm going to pick up my first bit of netting, stick this here and lay it into here. Press it with my brush, real good in there. That's nice. My yellow one, just need to get a little bit of liquid on my brush and apply it over. Oh God, I know what I did before. I went to cut off that frazzly bit but ended up throwing the bit away that I should have kept. Okay, I'm pushing it in to that wet layer along there. Doesn't matter that it's overhanging. Any that are sticking up, you can either apply a little bit of your glue or you can just go back in and lay a little bit of acrylic down, and as it's setting, just press it in. The reason I've got this plastic bag is to do this and hold it into place as it's setting. See? A lot easier on a human being, I'm not going to lie. I'm going to do, I I was going to do a second layer, but I don't actually think I need it because you can see the glitter coming through and it just looks super sparkly. I'm going to cut this area off here, this overhang off, just with my scissors. Just going to take it down. Still quite wet. Okay. Don't worry about little bits of material overhanging. Once you encapsulate this bead, you are going to file all this out. Just making sure the majority of it is stuck down, and any little straggly bits I'm just nipping off like so. Any bits that look a bit nasty, come along the free edge here and just get rid of this. And this needs to be completely flat and sealed onto that nail. What you don't want to happen is when you look down, come on Dottie, bend your finger up this way. When you look down the barrel of the nail, you don't want to see that it's not attached, because you put your clear acrylic on, you're then going to have gaps. So like here, it's not attached completely yet, but the acrylic is still wet, so I can just pinch it in. Okay, nice. So I'm just going to pop them out of the way. This one's ready now for encapsulation. Jesus, bloody stuff's everywhere, isn't it? Look. I can't get it off. Okay, next finger. I think that's going to look super nice. Haven't decided. I love my colours so much, so I'm probably just going to marbleise up the nail. So I'm going to do what I did in theory on that smile line, but I'm going to start off from the cuticle area. I've got bits of netting everywhere. I'm going to apply a small bead here, very, very wet bead, and a small bead there, and just blend it. It's probably a little bit too much bloody orange, to be honest with you. Nothing that you can't fix. So going into my yellow, going into my pink, I'm just going to let it run and do its thing down here. Just want to get a little bit of pink, pop it along here, and then bring this down with the yellow. Again, I'm not going to use any orange. I think I've got enough there for the time being. I'm going to put orange, yellow, pink. Blend it coming down. Bring it down. Okay. Now I'm going to go into my orange, into my yellow. Oh God, someone's screaming at the kids outside, aren't they? And pop this on there. And then bring it down. I think maybe pop a little bit there. Anything that you're not completely happy with, you can correct with your glitter. So don't be panicking that, you know, you think it looks wrong or anything. I'll do a little bit of pink in there. And I want to bring it down. Maybe a tiny little bit more pink. Bring it into that orange that's already there and mix it round. A little bit yellow and a little bit of orange, and I'm just going to swirl it down and pull it round, and then I'm going to get the most tiniest bit of clear and my inner side glitter again and tap it in the bits where I feel it's a little bit overpowered by a certain colour. I've got a little star in there, but I like it. Tiny little bit more. The reason why I've got stars in there is because I was using it and using the stars at Christmas time and chucked the wrong lid in the wrong pot, but looks pretty. Okay, tiny little bit more up here. And then we're good to go for encapsulation on this nail as well. See the nail tips moved. I'm going to push it back in. Hopefully not snap anything. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly encapsulate all of this, and once it's set, I'm going to file into shape. I'm going to e-file and hand file, and then I will come back on and apply my top coat and probably some little daisies or something. I'll have a look, maybe I will, depends on how I feel when the set's finished. This is why I don't plan an awful lot out, because sometimes you can plan it out and as you're doing it, it can just be like, oh, that's going to look too much. But because it's in your mind that you've got to do it, you're then like, yeah, it's got to go on anyway. But sometimes it's not always best. I change my mind quite a lot. Okay, I'm just going to put a tiny little bit more on the free edge, reverse it, and just blend it in onto itself down there. And that is that one. Come on, Dotty. Move your fingers for me. Okay, don't need to worry about this bit. We're just encapsulating the free edge. Nice bead. Work my way backwards, reversing that brush and brushing down onto the nail bed. Again, it's just joining it and getting it and pushing it right into the corner of the nail. The smile line. Go. Because I've worked really thin with my base of design layer, probably could pinch it because the tips are still really flexible. Okay, that's nice. Tiny little bit over here, and then that is one done. Even that's one done. Get my words out. Let's just have a little look. Okay, bend this one up. Got it. Come back a little bit. Stuck my finger. No, it's okay. Okay, nice. A nice bead. Tend to leave it a little bit more wet, just so it oozes in between all that netting, and you get a good coverage, and then you know it's really encapsulated in there. That is nice though. Making sure I'm working it from the cuticle, bringing it up and pushing it across each side of the nail. So concentrating on keeping an even an amount of acrylic on each side of the nail. So side, middle, side, until I run out. And then I just blend off this bit and then add my next bead, which I'm going to reverse onto the tip, press and pull, just like that. So I just want to go and have a look now at my first nail. I wonder if I could get a little bit more of a pinch in there. I love a pinch nail. Just try this one too. Just because that base was so thin with that design work, I think I can do that. Just while I'm playing around with the free edge on here, making sure it's got a nice coverage. I'm looking down the barrel of the nail and I can see that it's all joined to the nail and there's no material that's separated from the nail. Yeah, that's nice. That's set. Now, I'll come back and pinch that one in a sec. Again, I'll come around this way. I'm getting a little bit more used to it. I'm going to pull it out ever so slightly just so I can get a nice cuticle application into my clear. Draining the back of the bead a little bit, plonking it on, plonking it now. Pressing it in around the cuticle with the point of my brush, and then I'm going to start feeding it up with the belly and not my tip of my nail. And because my bead has been drained ever so slightly, I've got perfect control of that bead. It isn't going blur. It's doing what I want it to do. It's staying put on that nail. It isn't flooding the cuticle. It hasn't flooded any side walls. I haven't had to touch the skin. It is on and it is doing as it's told. and this tip is coming out of her finger. Will I ever get used to using Dotty? I don't know. I don't know if I will. But I've got a few beginner courses after lockdown, and I don't want 3 people. So I'm thinking maybe use her for modelling purposes while they are training. Maybe anybody does that, feel free to message me and let me know how it goes, you know, like, am I using it the wrong way? Okay, so where's my lid for my acrylic brush? I'm just cleaning that up, put my lid on, pop it away, getting everything on, and then I'm going to file these, and I think I'm going to crystal. I don't want daisies. I think it's too much. I think I'm going to put some crystals on this one here, her ring finger. Okie dokie. Okay, so moment of truth now. I've given it a good file. I've broken a few of the bases of the tips because I actually had to pull them out to file them. So I'm going to apply, before I put any top coat on, I'm going to apply just some pretty little crystals along this one. I'm going to be using, I'll just use my Polybond glue for today. Sometimes quite a lot, especially on clients, I use my Kiara Sky base, but I've got the lid stuck, so I ain't faffing around with that. Just going to get out some little crystals, just some random colours, pretty colours, just to go around that cuticle area. I think it looked really cute. Get my little picky uppy sticky, and then I'm just not happy with the nail shapes, but I think I've just got to live with myself that I'm not going to be able to get it perfect being on this doll. Just applying some small little beads of glue, and I'm just going to pop down here just some random colours, if I can actually pick one up for the glue sets in there. Just move that one. Stick that one there. Okay. Little, what is that, lilac and blue. Oh, the less glue you use when doing your crystals, the easier it sticks, so don't over flood it. I don't think these are matching, but it's pretty, and that's all that matters. No, I can't stick like that. That's shit, Kate. Oh, look at the little where are my little tools? Even though it's on Dotty, I can't leave it there, sorry. Let me just find the same crystal. That's not, that's pink. What colour is that? Lilac-y, sort of lavendery. I can only find pink. How bloody frustrating is that? You guarantee I'll put the pot away. So look for purple, okay. Put the pot away and then I'll find it. But no, I'm going to have to use a different colour because I just can't. I can't find one that's the right way up. That is that colour. What's that? No. God. I'm just going to use a different colour. It's going to have to be soz. Similar, but it's smaller. Is it? Right. Be alright. And a little blue. I've just got a mixed, I've just literally emptied a mixed pot on here, so that's why I'm struggling. It's ones that I don't tend to use on clients. It doesn't matter, I think it looks nice. Not perfect. Probably put a lot more effort into a client, if I'm honest with you. And I'd add little caviar beads and all that jazz. But yeah, let's just get the lid on there, and then let's get some top coat on, and then I'll take a finish. You can have a little look, and then we are finished. So once again, thank you very much for watching, and I hope you like and subscribe, and any helpful hints on hand dollies or anything that you want to see in the future, please let me know. So just gonna get, I'm using Glaze and Go LED. It's my favorite top coat. It shines like glass, and you can just see how much detail through, you know, that it doesn't yellow. It's just gorgeous. Look, try and move and focus a little bit better. It's stunning, really nice. Okay, I'm just going to bet it up to my crystals and bring it down. That's really nice as well. I think looking at it, I would have preferred to use a different pink. Oh, creaky chair. Oh, and again, I think I'd like to have used more of maybe the XOXO from Glaze and Go, Glam and Glitz. I think it's more of a neon pink. I just think it might have popped out a little bit better, but it's too late now, or as I like to say, tough titties. What is done is done. This looks really, really nice though, so I can forgive myself for not using that really bright pink. Look at that with that material in. It's so sparkly and iridescent-y. Okay, bet it up and bring it down. It's not ugly, the pink. I just would have liked a little bit more pop from it, but this reminds me very fruit salady, so I'll take that. And we'll just focus on here. Really nice. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification for when I put more videos up. Thank you. Bye.